It is another election day in Wisconsin where voters are deciding a number of local races on the ballot, and there's also a big one right here in La Crosse.
For the first time in 8 years, voters in the city are electing a new mayor. Former La Crosse Chamber of Commerce CEO Vicki Markison is facing off against former radio broadcaster and businessman Mitch Reynolds. Both are political newcomers.
And take a look at just how close this race really is so far tonight. This is with 93% of precincts reporting. Mitch Reynolds has just a slight lead, 51% of the votes over Vicki Markison with 49%.
And the winner will take over for current mayor Tim Cabot, who announced in December that he is not running for re-election.
News 8 Now's Tyler Jobe is here with reaction from both mayoral candidates.
Hi guys, both candidates are actually former journalists in La Crosse. Markison, who says she wants to keep property taxes level in the city, says she's grateful for the many people who supported her if she won the election.
Really proud of the race that has been run and looking forward to taking office.
Now Reynolds, who has been adamant that minorities and the homeless in the community need voices heard, says he's thankful for the people who have got to him where he is now if he won the election.
I have countless volunteers who've been on the streets from the very beginning, but also through the polar vortex in February, hanging door literature, and people who have been part of our core team who have really pushed forward in this campaign to make sure that we're addressing the needs of those who are the most marginalized and vulnerable in our community.
Now, of course, we will keep you updated on the latest results. And Mike and Martha, as you guys mentioned earlier, it's a very tight race right now, 93% reporting.
All right, thanks so much, Tyler.
Well, besides a new mayor in La Crosse, there will be several new faces on the city council. We're going to begin in District 7, where Matt Kyle is up against Victoria McVeigh. And as you can see there, Kyle has won this race with 60% of the vote.
Now moving on to La Crosse City Council District 8 race, Mackenzie Mindel is facing off against Samuel Dietz. Taking a look at these numbers, Mackenzie Mindel easily defeats Dietz with almost 72% of the vote.
In District 9, Chris Woodard is up against write-in candidate Casey Cayo. Woodard easily comes out on top with nearly 84% of the vote here.
And then moving on to District 10. So far, we are waiting for numbers on there. So far, 0% reporting, but we will keep you updated.
Jennifer Trost and Richard Korish are running for the District 11 seat that is being vacated by Martin Gall, who unsuccessfully ran for mayor in the primary. And we are waiting on these results as well.
Now taking a look at District 12, where Doug Happel, he is the incumbent, running against challenger Keontae Turner. As you can see here, the incumbent Happel will keep his seat with 63% of the vote.
And in La Crosse's District 13, Chauncey Turner is running against Mark Newman. Newman most recently ran against Congressman Ron Kine in the Democratic primary. The results of tonight's race, Newman wins with almost 76% of the vote.
There was only one statewide race on the ballot tonight, and that was for State Superintendent of Public Instruction. Former Superintendent of Brown Deer Schools, Deborah Kerr, is running against Jill Underly, the Superintendent of the Pecatonica School District in southwestern Wisconsin.
And this is a final. As you can see here, actually this is not the right graphic, but we can tell you that Jill Underly does win with almost 57% of the vote. The nonprofit Wisconsin Democracy Campaign reports outside spending for the race exceeded $1 million, the most ever spent by outside groups for the officially nonpartisan race. Underly did speak about her win just a short time ago.
I'm honored and humbled by the trust voters have placed in me today, and I'm overcome with gratitude for the incredible support that we've had on this journey.
Carolyn Stanford Taylor currently holds the position as state superintendent, but decided not to run after she was appointed to the position in 2019.
And 6 candidates are running for 3 seats on the La Crosse Board of Education. There is one incumbent and also a local law enforcement leader, Rob Abraham, also Annie Bauman, Craig Brunell, Martha Linville, Gretchen Paquette, and Brad Korberg, who is the only incumbent who is up for re-election. And then taking a look at those numbers so far, Annie Bauman and Brad Korberg are still there, as well as Rob Abraham taking the top 3 spots.
And the school district of Holman has 4 candidates running for 2 available 3-year terms on the Board of Education. Chris Lau and Jennifer Deek won the 2 available seats.
Heading over to West Salem, 4 candidates are vying for 2 available seats there. The candidates are Kyle Boland, Robin Fitzgerald, Tom Helgeson, and also Chris Peterson. And at this point, with 66% reporting, so far the top 2 vote getters are Robin Fitzgerald and Chris Peterson.
Voters in the Bangor School District will vote for 2 director seats on the school board. Incumbent Lori Horseman is being challenged by Seth Hemmersbach. And you can see here that Lori Horseman did win with 67% of the vote. And while Lisa Horseman is running unopposed for an at-large seat.
Also a big question for voters in the Bangor School District. They were also deciding a $900,000 operating referendum. You can see here it did pass with a large margin, getting 66% of the vote.
The town of Campbell is electing a new chairperson. The election comes at a critical time for the town, as many of its residents are dealing with water contamination from the dangerous compounds called PFAS. The 2 candidates on the ballot are business owner and fire department volunteer Dennis Nelson.
And he is running against Joshua Johnson, who grew up on the island and is also an engineer at Xcel Energy. You can see here that Joshua Johnson wins with more than 60% of the vote and will be the town of Campbell's next chairperson. We do have a lot more election results coming up from around our region. You can always check our website, news8000.com. Real quickly, we just wanted to recap some races for you. Once again, for La Crosse Mayor, Mitch Reynolds wins with 51% of the vote, but only 205 votes separated the 2. That is 100% reporting.
We also wanted to bring you the results of 2 city council races in La Crosse that we did not have numbers for earlier in the newscast. You can see here in District 10, Rebecca Schwartz wins with 58% of the vote. And then moving on to District 11 City Council seat, Jennifer Trost handily wins this race with 60% of the vote.